man, Remi, you had your chance. You had a couple opportunities to redeem yourself. Megumi literally tried to warn you. He saved you. All of that. And you still go crazy on him for no reason. Guys, Megumi is not playing. He's 4v1ing right now. And at the end of this chapter, it's a 2v1. And this hurt, but Remi needed to hear this, right? Megumi says, trash like you who cling to people's words rather than actions. Scum. And that's that. That was that. No other word, just a period at the end of that. This chapter was a banger, guys. It really just shows Megumi's development. And he kind of goes a little... He calms himself down towards the end of the chapter and kind of makes him realize, like, look, this isn't about, you know, how many points they got. Like, I've got people that can help me out. I'm not the only one. I'm good. Like, focus on what's going on and don't get too enamored with the points. It's really interesting and cool to see Megumi's thought process throughout this whole thing, and also how he goes about these fights. He's crazy strong and powerful, guys. And honestly, if anything, after the Shibuya, it really goes to show Gojo was right. Special grade, all these new grades, they need to be changed, because I mean, to me, Megumi is a special grade at this point. Yuji, I guess Yuji a first grade, but I mean, maybe because he has Sukuna, he's a special grade. Maki's definitely a special grade. I mean, at this point, it's just crazy how powerful these guys are, and I'm loving it, right? But let's kind of briefly go through the chapter here, man. So we kind of leave off with that eye, and we saw like an explosion, and interesting power, this guy, and we'll get to him. But the eye explodes and Reggie kind of ducks for cover, and then we get the guy with the ability. We see his eye is missing, right? And as he's talking, he said, did he die? He cracks his tooth, right? And his name is Hazanoki Iori, and he's got 35 points. So he's got this power where I guess he can take body parts and they explode. Kind of weird, kind of interesting, kind of freaky, but you know, it fits right in with Jujutsu Kaisen, right? So Megumi gets out of that, and he gets attacked by Remi. And I gotta say this, Remi's ability so far is utter trash. It's utter garbage. She's basically has a scorpion tail at the end of her hair. Really? I don't know, man. I thought she may have had something way more interesting up her sleeve, but she is very useless, like no joke. And literally Megumi tried to help her. And then so I was kind of confused by this. I don't know. Megumi says, you okay with this? And it looks like he's looking down at Remi. I thought he was looking out the window and talking to Iori, or Hazanoki Iori, but he wasn't. So he's actually trying to talk some sense into Remi here. And he's like, you okay with this? And then they get attacked again. First, he gets gasoline thrown on him by Hazanoki. And then throws the teeth, and they explode, basically. And he says, rattle. So I guess I don't know exactly. And by the way, in this shot, we see that he's regained his eye. But I guess the teeth rattle, and then they explode, right? And they both know, Reggie and Hazanoki both know that Megumi is still alive, right? So we get, and this is what I was talking about earlier, we get Megumi trying to explain to Remi, now you understand, these guys couldn't care less about protecting you. And it's true, it's very true and very prevalent. That's why she was so confused when Reggie was trying to explain those things to Megumi. And then she kind of goes a little crazy. She tries to attack Megumi. He's like, look, I've had enough. And she goes ballistic, man. She looks crazy here. She looks out of control. She's like, then tell me, like how Reggie-sama told me, that he'll protect me, that he loves me. You tell me. So she's basically wanting Megumi to like say the same things that Reggie said, and I'll stop. And you could tell just by her facial expression, she's kind of gone ballistic and worried. And at least to her side, I will say just based off of what we know, she doesn't have the ability to really help herself, right? Especially in these conditions in this calling game. But like what I talked about earlier with Megumi's quote, you know, you can't rely on someone's words. Like, just let them show it through their actions, man. And it really sucks because I thought Remi brought out a side of Megumi that, you know, maybe took the edge off of him being so serious. Which completely understandable why he is, but I just thought, you know, kind of made him relax a little bit, which he has, because he's not coming at Remi. He could have killed Remi at any time, but he knows she's being used, and you know, he's kind of poised, Megumi, when it comes to Remi. So anyway, we get a random fodder who gets completely demolished, right? And before he does, Megumi gets the word. So we kind of get a point in time at where Yuji finally was able to get to Higuruma, and they agreed to this whole thing of adding this new rule with Higuruma's points, right? And so we get the rule 10 has been added. You could transfer points now, and Megumi smiles, right? Because Yuji's done his job. He's got his friends backing him up. The plan proceeds. So he quickly blitzes this guy, and let me get his name, because even though we probably won't even see it ever again, but his name is Hari Chizuru, right? He gets blitzed, kicked in the face. Megumi does his max elephant. The elephant comes crashing out of the building. Hari is falling down. Megumi's on his Nue, and he comes down, and it looks like he's got a piece of glass in his hand. I gotta look again, but he's coming down on this guy and stabbing him multiple times. And actually, I've been seeing some comparisons between him and Toji and the way he stabbed Kojo, and Megumi's kind of stabbing him the same way, right? And then there's another parallel too, to where he finally finishes him off, right? And you see him kind of standing, similar to how he's got like his shoulders back and he's gripping something in his hand, and he's got both fists balled up. He's kind of standing just like Toji did after defeating Gojo, right? And we kind of get a little glimpse into Megumi's mind. He says, "What am I doing? We'll still need to gather points from here on out, but Sumiki won't be forced to participate in life or death fights. Don't panic. Believe in everyone else. Don't get hung up on these guys' points. I'll do everything I can to deal with what they throw before me." So he's kind of calming himself down, right? He's realizing the benefits of, you know, having friends on his side, believing in everyone else. Don't let the fact that these guys got all these points do anything. Like, he has to deal with what's gonna happen, right? So he's kind of calmed himself down. And so we see Reggie and Hazanoki, and Hazanoki kind of has this, like, I don't know how to put it, like this kind of redneck kind of look to him. Interesting looking character, honestly, but he's kind of thinking in his head as they're coming down. Megumi's like, you know, it's a 2v1. Is Remi, did she leave? Should I use my domain expansion? It's not complete. If I were to use it, they'd be able to escape, so there's no point. And as he's thinking, he gets hit. And actually, you know what? It wasn't a piece of glass, like I said earlier. It's his sword that he has. Okay. Interesting. I thought it was a piece of glass. It's a sword. But he's about to get hit by one of those rattling teeth, right? And someone takes the hit. And lo and behold, it's the comedian from that one chapter. I forget. I think it was right after the thing with Maki, or right before. I can't remember. I think it's right before. It's right after. Takaba Fumihiko, and he's got this. I'm trying to think of. He's got this half. Okay, hang on, because now I'm curious. Is he? Oh no! It's a skin tight suit, but it's like half heart with a smile, and he's got like this belt that has a smiley face on it. I'm trying to think of who it reminds me of. I don't know why I'm thinking Aoyama from My Hero, but oh, you know what? I'm thinking of Twice from My Hero. That's what he kind of reminds me of for some reason. But he's got a interesting entrance. He seems like a quirky character. I can already see how it plays into him being a comedian type. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a great chapter, man. Like I was saying earlier, Megumi he's great. I think he's special grade level at this point. Maybe not just because his domain expansion isn't complete, but he's got so many things up his arsenal that it's just insane to me. Now, again, I've been talking about Remi in my reviews. I really hope she finds a way to redeem herself, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. I hope Megumi's words resonate and she joins the fight, making it a 3-on-2 or whatever the hell. I don't know, man. But hey, great chapter, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Megumi is playing no games at all.